Coming up on Around San Diego, federal authorities just arrested a man in connection with the Palisades fire. More on the evidence they discovered. Plus, Chula Vista is looking to develop a 5-year plan to tackle homelessness in the city. What officials are proposing and how residents are taking part in the conversation. And the federal government shutdown continues to affect air traffic controllers across the country. We check in on the impacts here at San Diego International. Hello and welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day, and I'll get you caught up on our top stories, and we'll look ahead at what's to come around San Diego. We begin with that suspected arson. 9 months after the deadly Palisades fire ripped through the Los Angeles area, officials have arrested a suspect in Florida, saying that the fire that caused so much damage was intentionally set. Investigators say 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht lived near Pacific Palisades and started a small fire on New Year's Day that smoldered underground before reigniting nearly a week later. The Palisades fire tore through 17,000 homes and killed 12 people. Authorities say the suspect prompted ChatGPT to generate an image, this image of a burning forest in the months before, allegedly starting that fire. And the family of a 13-year-old boy who died by suicide last April is suing the Coronado Unified School District. We first told you about Gabriel Palacios last month after his family filed a legal claim against the district. According to his family, Gabriel, who lived with Tourette's and ADHD, was relentlessly bullied at school. The lawsuit accuses the district of ignoring warnings and failing to follow anti-bullying policies, calling his death entirely preventable. The family says their goal is to force stronger protections for students. The district says it does not comment on pending litigation. And right now, travelers at airports around the country are seeing flight delays as the Transportation Secretary acknowledges a jump in air traffic controllers calling out sick due to the federal government shutdown. So far, airport operations are normal, but some travelers told us they are worried about staffing if the shutdown continues. San Diego International issued this statement about the air traffic control concerns. It says, in part, San Diego International Airport continues to operate normally, and essential federal aviation personnel are anticipated to remain on duty, end quote. They also say they do not expect disruptions to parking, concessions, customer service, or public safety. And right now, you can begin casting your mail-in ballot in the Prop 50 special election. Ballots started to arrive in mailboxes just this week, and most voters will only have one question on that ballot to decide on the statewide redistricting effort. Governor Gavin Newsom says Prop 50 is a retaliatory measure against President Trump's efforts to redraw congressional maps in Republican-led states to give Republicans an advantage ahead of next year's midterm elections. The last day to register to vote for the November 4th statewide special election is coming up October 20th. And if you are a voter who lives in Poway, you'll be asked another question about whether or not to recall District 2 City Council member Tony Blaine just 3 months into his term. Back in January, the Poway City Council voted to censure Blaine over claims he has attempted to bribe and threaten other council members and misuse law enforcement resources against the public. And the city of Chula Vista is asking for your input as they come up with a long-term vision to create housing and support for unsheltered residents. This comes as potential cuts to federal homeless services are looming. One major project on the horizon, converting the former Palomar Motel into nearly 30 units of permanent housing. Chula Vista received an $8 million state grant to help fund this project, which is slated to be complete sometime next year.
Sure that we're just not providing housing, but mental health care, drug addiction, rehabilitation. In order for people to get off the streets, they need to be healthy both mentally and physically.
For more information on upcoming community workshops, just head to CBS8.com. And Governor Gavin Newsom just signed a bill to grant automatic college admission for some high school seniors. They would get into Cal State schools if they meet certain requirements for grades and coursework. A woman who graduated high school 9 years ago says this could have made all the difference.
Oh, 100%. That was something I've always wanted to do, was to go to college, go to a university, and if I would have had that, just that little bit of an opportunity to not worry about the application, it would have been helpful.
Yeah, this new law is also aimed at boosting enrollment at campuses where numbers are dropping, including CSU Maritime Academy in Vallejo, Northern California. It goes into effect for the 2026-2027 school year. Well, a new report from the Surfrider Foundation finds 70% of California's sandy beaches could disappear by the end of the century. And that report says it's all due to climate-driven rising sea levels. The group's 2025 State of the Beach report says while the outlook is grim, there is hope. Local communities are finding success with nature-based solutions, from battling erosion to blocking new seawalls. The group urges people to visit beaches, join local chapters, and get involved in protecting the coast for future generations. Still ahead, people living around Balboa Park say their parking problems are about to get even worse. Plus, concerns continue to arise over changes made to Claremont Drive, why a school is getting involved. Welcome back. After years of legal challenges, an increased hotel tax in the city of San Diego appears to be moving forward. A state appeals court ruled Measure C, which hikes that tax in some areas by more than 3%, did receive enough votes to be implemented. The increased revenue would go toward an expansion of the convention center, homelessness services, and street repairs. Councilmember Stephen Whitburn says it is anticipated to generate an additional $100 million annually.
People have been waiting for a long time for the convention center to be expanded so that we can keep Comic-Con here in San Diego, invite other big conventions, which is just more revenue for the city of San Diego. So that's a good thing.
The plaintiff in the case, California Taxpayers Action Network, can request a rehearing by the state appeals court, or it could petition the state Supreme Court to take on this case. And a grand jury found crime is on the rise in the Gaslamp quarter and made recommendations to make it safer. The city council just voted on those ideas, but did not agree with all of them. From 2022 to 2024, downtown saw a 17% increase in crimes against persons, including murder, rape, and assault. Captain Ryan Hallahan oversees the area where up to 50,000 people gather on weekend nights.
I'd much rather have more walking teams. If we're going to take somebody out of a car, at least they can stay close to the car. Unlike bikes, you could be 3-4 blocks away from your car. And then when you arrest somebody that's combative, what do you do?
The council approved recommendations on staffing and community policing, but rejected the idea of daytime bike patrols. Crime, however, is down on public transit in San Diego. That's according to a new study from MTS. The number of crimes reported across all transit systems is down 24% since last year. Crime is down 14% on trolleys and down 53% on bus routes. The transit agency credits a comprehensive security initiative launched less than 2 years ago to make the system safer. And changes to Claremont Drive have drawn a lot of attention, and not all of it positive. We are hearing complaints from people at a school on that busy road. We also talked to residents who say they're frustrated after new road striping, reduced traffic lanes, and added bike lanes. CBS 8's Steffi Roche is working for you.
What was once 2 lanes in each direction on Claremont Drive is now just 1 each way after the road was restriped as part of the city's Pure Water project.
People are dropping off way far away because they cannot see with a single lane that there are open spots.
This video, recorded by Marston Middle School principal Jonathan Golias, shows the morning drop-off rush. Right when we arrived at Marston Middle School's drop-off Tuesday, we witnessed a fender bender right in front of the school.
We see daily all the traffic that's been pushed back there that doesn't have the safety features that you have out on a busy street. We see near misses of kids getting, hit.
The restriping also added bike lanes and relocated street parking to the outside of the traffic lanes, creating a buffer between moving cars and cyclists.
They're trying to avoid what's going on in the front here.
Since the beginning of the school year, Golia says he met with the city to discuss safety, but tells me he does not feel the city is addressing his or parents' concerns. Golias also says the school was never notified about the restriping plans.
The city has not communicated with any of our school staff about these changes. We knew that there would be repaving over the summer. We didn't know about any striping changes.
A city spokesperson tells me in part, quote, "We have listened and agreed to almost all recommendations to modify the area with extended left turn lanes and an expansion of dedicated pickup drop-off area with 16 additional time-limited floating parking spaces." But Golia says that the recommendations the city did approve don't align with what he believes are the school's top priorities.
All we need to do is connect that bike lane that's floated right there, move it down 300 feet, remove the floating parking, and we tremendously improve safety for our school.
Meanwhile, Tuesday, the city confirmed that they never directly notified the school about the restriping of Claremont Drive via email or flyers, but that the Pure Water project has been in the works for years and has been presented to the community since 2019. For now, reporting in Claremont, I'm Steffi Roche, CBS 8.
And frustration is also growing for people who live next to Balboa Park as parking gets harder to find there. Several new high-rises are going up in the area, some right along 6th Avenue, blocking roads and parking spots. On top of that, the city of San Diego just started a storm drain project that's removing dozens of more parking spaces. Residents worry it'll only get worse in January when the city begins charging for parking in Balboa Park's lots, likely pushing more cars into their already congested neighborhood.
Morning, sometimes I come to my car and there's someone already waiting at the end of the street waiting for me to leave. And then I come back 2 hours later and I can't find a place to park.
A city spokesperson says the storm drain project has been in the works for more than 5 years and should be finished by the end of November. Still ahead, critics are pushing back hard against a proposed retirement community project in Rancho Santa Fe. We'll break down the project and the controversy that's followed. Welcome back. A new report reveals a third of San Diego households, including working families, are making a lot less than what they need just to get by. You know this. This week, nonprofit leaders and government officials came together to discuss the report from the United Way of San Diego County. The report found a family of 4 needs to make $116,000 just to provide basic needs like food and housing, but that 1/3 of those families here only make about $50,000. One panelists pointed to a dramatic drop in the number of naturally affordable homes here over the past 25 years.
There are a lot of people trapped in rentals that are $3,000 to $4,000 a month. And if you could turn that into a mortgage, they could actually stabilize their living expenses for the rest of their lives, plus build wealth, plus have something they could borrow against to put their kids through school, right?
If you would like to read that full report, we do have a link on CBS8.com. Meantime, a battle is brewing over a proposed retirement community in the Rancho Santa Fe Covenant. It's a first for the community. Silvergate wants to build more than 170 units, but it needs local approval first, and both sides are digging in. CBS 8's Abby Black reports on the controversy.
Behind me, you see these white poles sticking up from the ground. They're markers for the proposed Silvergate retirement community. We're talking about 170 units on 30 acres, but it's inside the Rancho Santa Fe Covenant, and critics are pushing back hard.
At least one building here is going to be
Sharon Runell has lived in Rancho Santa Fe Covenant for 28 years.
I really do love Rancho Santa Fe. It is what I had hoped it would be, which is rural. This project is definitely not rural in nature by any means. It's a business.
The project would be Silvergate's 4th retirement venture in San Diego County. 178 rented units with apartments, cottages, memory care, restaurants, and outdoor spaces for 200 residents.
It's finally creating an opportunity.
Greg Petrie's president and CEO of Silvergate's parent company, Solana Beach-based AmeriCare Health and Retirement.
There are about approximately 850 seniors age 75 and older that live in the ranch. We have over 200 of them already signed up to move in.
I spoke to one of those supporters on the phone. They call themselves RSF Friends of Retirement and organized independently after learning of the opposition. Perti Vasari says the community fulfills a great need, would increase property values through higher association dues and create opportunities for younger families to move in. But the opposition says it's gaining numbers too.
I cannot tell you, my phone is ringing off the hook.
The Protect the Covenant group cites concerns about density, traffic, fire evacuation on two-lane roads, and flooding, which they say should concern everyone in and around the ranch.
We've purposely slowed the development cycle down to educate the community.
But first, it needs Rancho Santa Fe Association art jury approval, now scheduled for October 28th. If approved, it would then go to the county for consideration. The president of the association sent CBS 8 a statement. In part, it says, "We understand that residents have strong feelings about the project, and the association is carefully following its established review process."
We are prepared to fight this.
Reporting in Rancho Santa Fe, Abby Black, CBS 8.
We'll certainly keep you posted, Abby. Thanks. Well, San Diego's spiny lobster season is underway. Tariffs, changing tastes in China, and rocky international relations, though, have sent prices to near record lows. Good for consumers, but bad for fishermen. Last year, spiny lobster sold for $20 to $24 a pound. This year, just $7 to $10. Some worry about the industry's future.
We need more tackle boxes and less X boxes. We need youngsters coming up the line that want to make a living and want to feed America.
Can support local fishermen by going to a fish market or restaurant and asking if the lobster was caught here. And hey, before you put up those Halloween decorations, you may want to think twice before using fake spider webs outdoors at least. Wildlife experts say that they can trap and seriously injure animals like birds, bats, and possums. The San Diego Humane Society says they see an increase in entangled wildlife every October, especially when webs are placed in trees or low brush.
These animals get the nylon fibers caught around their neck. We see a lot of toes being really injured, both in birds and bats and mammals. Those fibers get wrapped around the toe and they cut off the blood supply.
So if you do find a bird caught in those fake webs, free it carefully, and they say take it to Project Wildlife. For animals that might bite or carry rabies, they say to just contact the Humane Society. Experts also recommend skipping decorations with loops and using flameless candles to avoid burns. Still ahead, a Michelin-recognized taco shop south of the border has opened another San Diego location. All that you need to know before visiting Tacos El Franc. Well, the world-famous pandas at the San Diego Zoo spend much of their day eating. They need a lot of bamboo, and they don't like just any kind. CBS 8's Neda Iranpour takes us to a local bamboo field to learn how it gets harvested and how much is needed in this Earth 8 report.
Most of us can watch this all day. Pandas slowly munching and crunching. Bamboo is their main diet, and they get multiple species of bamboo, only the best for Xingbao and Yunchuan. While their home is here at the San Diego Zoo, the safari park is where a majority of their food is grown.
This is Phylostachys vivax.
Andres Guerrero specializes in bamboo.
People, when they see this, they think it's a tree, but it's actually the world's tallest grass.
Yes, pandas get nice and plump thanks to grass.
Ah, the beautiful sounds of bamboo. Now, they're pretty hard on the outside, but what you may not know is they're mostly hollow on the inside. Look at this cut one.
The nodes hold some nutrients and water. Everything else gets eaten too, from the leaves to the culms.
We've seen them chomping away, but it's not like an easy thing to chew through, right?
Correct, yeah, but their teeth is made for that. As far as this goes, they'll completely annihilate it.
Bamboo gets harvested every morning.
So here, I would want to open this area up. So I would just grab my knife and saw, give it a little cut, and then a back cut, and watch your head.
Watch out.
So then I would just bring this out.
Oh. Let's see how tall it is.
Yeah, let's see how tall it is.
I got it. Wow. Look at that.
We just cut 5-foot sections, so I'd say like right here is a good amount. Yeah,
so then
definitely.
this chunk is like a typical snack for them? Like for that,
Yeah, so this is a small portion.
Okay.
We would usually harvest about 20 of these 5-foot sections.
They eat about 75 pounds a day each. They're given about 12 different species and then subspecies. Andres describes it as a giant salad.
We harvest about 6 to 9 bundles. Those get heavy. They're about like 50 plus pounds.
I mean, tell me what you love so much about this.
Just the sounds, the leaves rustling, the cones just clashing. It's pretty poetic.
Andres and his team are also contributing to a global conservation effort to protect a beloved species. For Earth 8 at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, I'm Netta Iranpour.
Yeah, what a neat job, and we love our pandas. All right, well, hey, more than a dozen pets rescued from a home in Vista are now getting the care they need at the San Diego Humane Society. The dogs and cats were found after a landlord tried serving an eviction notice to a tenant who hadn't been seen in weeks. There was so much trash and debris inside the apartment, the animals had to dig their way through it to get around. And crews had to wear hazmat suits to clear the apartment, which took 4 days. The Humane Society says the animals were in rough shape when they came in.
It is heartbreaking to see animals come in this way. You can tell on their behavior they haven't been properly socialized. They're shy, they're fearful.
We are told the animals are doing a little better and will remain under the Humane Society's care while that investigation continues. Well, a second U.S. location of Tacos El Frank, a popular taco shop from Tijuana, is now open in the Gaslamp. Unlike its National City location, which is open for lunch, this one will open at 4 p.m. and then close at midnight, Monday through Wednesday, and then 2 a.m. Thursday through Sunday. The spot on 5th Avenue is between Market Street and Island Avenue. The owner says that he has plans to open even more restaurants. Love that. Our neighbors to the south. Well, that will do it for us. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for staying informed. For all of us here at CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take such good care. Thank you for watching.